Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the podcast Anime and Opposites. I'm your host Jola, here with
Uforo.
here with
Uforo.
yes,
Uforo.
yes.
Uforo is here. Ufi baby for short.
And let me just say this: we're back again. This is what he used to say once upon a time.
Nah.
You
Now
know,
it's Ufi baby. Ufi baby is in the house. Talk to me. Yeah.
goofy baby. That's so weird. Like that's so weird, man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the sexy boy is here.
you're really feeling it, aren't you? Okay.
No. It's all good. And here at Anime and Opposites, there's two friends. We talk about everything in the anime world and also in the opposite of anime world. We talk about everything.
Why are you talking like we're just starting, man?
No, let's bring in the people that just joined us for the first time into what this is about.
Okay.
Welcome
enough,
if you're
yeah.
a first time listener, welcome if you're a follower from previously or anything, welcome. If you're also,
welcome.
at one podcast I used to listen to, if you're a last time listener, welcome as well. So yeah, welcome to our friends, our enemies, frenemies. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Today, we thought we would talk about Revengers Erased, and so you know what? We had a tidbit from our news that had to do with Tokyo Revengers overtaking Attack on Titan on sales, and we were like, what the actual hell is that?
What the
Why?
actual fuck?
Yes. And we were like, you know what is all this hype? Because besides that, it seems like the hype has been growing around Tokyo Revengers, and I don't get why so much. For it to beat Attack on Titan, guys, this is Attack on Titan we're talking about.
Who are
So
you?
why?
Who's watching this? Who are you? Come and tell us who are you?
Yeah. And we just thought we would talk about it a little bit and compare it to a show that we think it is kind of has a similar premise, which is Erased, and we've kind of said a little bit of this before. But first of all, for those who may not know, Tokyo Revengers is about delinquents, basically. And this particular guy called Takemichi. Who, or Michi, or what do they call the guy? So,
or our superhero crybaby or whatever they call him. I don't even understand how. You know what, dude. Let's do that or whatever we call each other. Let's just understand something. He's not the best main character. Come on, like I mean, what kind of protagonist he is? He's not an MC you can attach to. First of all, like I just want to just dive right into the rant. Then we'll get into then you can.
Is this a spoiler-free rant?
It's a spoiler-free rant. Everything is. I mean.
Okay, go on.
Or you know what? Before we
go into it as long as you're not.
No, before we get into this podcast, because we are talking about a lot, let's not stop ourselves. Let's give the disclaimer to everyone.
Spoiler alert.
Let's just get that in there so that we don't have that issue, because I mean we won't have that issue. You know what? Just start. You get into the Reddit, then we'll come back. Just
Well, before the Reddit, I just wanted to say, before the Reddit, I wanted to say that it's about a guy that was his best time apparently was when he was in school, right?
Yeah.
And we find him later on. He's older, 28. He's about 28 or something, and he gets teleported back in time to when he was a kid in school. That's around that time we spoke about. That was around the highlight of his life, and this happens just before he found out his girlfriend in the future before he got teleported, that she died in some gang related
No, don't forget
incident.
the way he got teleported was because he died. Initially.
Yeah. Okay, he got pushed in front of a train.
Yeah.
Somehow, and then anyway, he found himself back in time but it turns out his girlfriend had died, and so he goes back to
Girlfriend
find out why.
is such an overstatement, by the way. But continue.
It is an overstatement. That's another thing.
Yes,
Yes,
we will get into that. We'll get into that.
yeah. So, so this guy goes back to find out what happened, why, like, what led to it. So he's basically supposed to sort of investigate the different things that happened to prevent her death.
Fair.
Now, we compared it to Erased because Erased is similar in the sense that you had this older guy who has this ability. He already knows he has this ability to kind of rewind time a little bit, and at little points he does it in throughout his time in the future.
You also
when
find
he
that
saved someone.
Yeah,
he saved somebody when he was driving a moped thing. Someone was about to be hit by a car, and he did
he always have the ability from day one?
Yes.
Or did okay, because I'm trying to
Oh
remember.
no, in the future, I don't know about as a kid.
Yeah, no, I think he discovered
Yes.
it later in life, and then
That he
something
had
like
it,
that, and
yes.
then he. Yeah,
Yes.
go on, yeah.
But I mean, by the time the show starts, he knows he has this ability,
Yes,
and he
true,
uses it a little bit to help people. Yeah.
Very true. Yeah.
And so it's him and his mom, single mom kind of situation. And the mom is like this investigator, she used to be an investigative journalist, I think. That's what she was.
Yes.
So
Sorry.
and he has like a bit of a memory gap in terms of things that happened to him as a kid. He doesn't really remember stuff too well.
Yeah,
but his
yeah.
mom remembers how things played out. So I think there was somebody had just been killed in the present time, or there had been some killings, some kidnappings that happened of kids, and then they got killed. And his mom was talking about it, and eventually his mom gets killed, and then he goes back in time.
And he's even framed
The
for that
furthest
killing.
he'd ever gone.
He's even framed for the
He's
killing.
framed for the killing of his mom.
And that's
yes.
what makes him really.
That's
all
what
the
makes
way-
him
That's what triggers him
all
to go
the way back to
Yeah.
to when he was a kid. Apparently, that's when all these things happened that he didn't really remember. Maybe like a suppressed memory kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he goes back to then. Now, these two, as you can see, similar. Back in time, trying to find out things that happened, investigating these deaths, these murders. Except that one is one. This one is a few different murders, like a serial thing. Now, even as Uforo mentioned, this guy had a girlfriend, Takemichi, in Tokyo Revengers. This guy didn't have a girlfriend, but between these two shows, before I get into the Reddit, sorry, you can see the stark difference in behavior. Because this guy in Erased is, I can't remember his name now, the main character's name. It would have been
You
easier.
know what? Let me
You can see the
continue.
difference between him.
Yeah.
The maturity levels are
That
vast.
is what I was
Because this
going to
Takemichi
say.
is
Now,
not mature.
There is no way, like, as I am
His
now,
name
and
is Satoru.
Satoru.
Sorry,
As
go
I am now, and as you are, we are whatever age we are. We don't need to cast. Maybe I've casted in the beginning. Go back and listen, then you find
Yeah.
out. But we are whatever age we are right
What
now.
our ages?
And-
Oh,
yeah,
we didn't
no,
quite say it specifically. But
No, I think we did.
there's
think
no
we
need
did.
for that.
But I'm trying
Specifically.
to specifically, yeah. So go back to episode 1 to 5. Just
Then
listen
I'm
to
sure
from
it's
1
you,
to
'cause I certainly did.
I casted it from 1 to 5. Listen from 1 to 5. Then you find out that if you don't find it, then listen from 6 to 7. If you don't find it, just listen up until 33. Then you hear it somewhere.
Nice.
But anyways, so what I'm saying is that the guy, like the way, what age, if you carry me with my brain and my mentality as I am, take me to secondary school and primary school, whatever place you want to keep me in, or take you as well. There is no way,
Yeah.
even if I would still have fun, because I'm going to go back and be like, wow, I'm a kid again. Like some of the fun I did not have, like maybe playing football, some of the things that I'm obviously I play football, but some of the extra fun that I did not have, or some of the things that I had a lot of fun in, like, you're having fun with no regrets because you're just thinking of, instead of thinking of tomorrow, like how we have to think of work, making money, paying bills, and all the problems that come with adulthood. Back then, we don't have
Yes.
those issues. So you go back and you're like, mom and dad is going to have food in the house at some point. Everything is fine. So let me just enjoy life But there is no how you would not carry the level of maturity that you have right now and attack some certain issues. There is
even
no
if
how
a
that
little
is
bit.
even a little bit. There is no how a friend of yours, let's say you got into it, let's say as a kid, like guys, we get into fights a lot. Let's say someone tried to fight you or something. You realize how dumb that is, and you're like, I know I'm gonna overstep this. I know how to manipulate this guy to like I'm smarter than this guy. I'm like whatever age I am, right? And in real life.
Not just that, but some of the stupid things you would have done then.
Some of the things that I might
pointless.
In Nigeria, and I think it must have happened I went to boarding house in Nigeria. What's the name? When guys started having a little bit of an argument, what will happen is that, especially in boarding house, so stupid by the way. Someone is trying to hype the fight up, and someone comes and drops his slippers.
Yes.
Someone comes and drops slippers. That's how you used to, or drop something in and like separates you and the opposing guy that you're meant to fight, and says, "This other side of this line is your father's land. This other side is your land. Oh yeah." If you step on your father's, he says step on his father's land. Show him that you can step on his father's land. This is stupid. There's someone who now step on the land and be like, I stepped on your father's land, and next the fighter's boss. You're fighting because they stepped on your father's land. I'm doing air quotes, by the way. So now, imagine me with the brain I have in that same situation, and someone should drop slippers and says, this is your father. I'll be like, yo, this is stupid. It's not my father's land. I walk away. Like, it's stupid. It does not make any sense. You just walk away, and then if someone say you're a coward, I'm a coward because this is stupid, and you just walk away. Like, and then even if you got into a fight, you will know how to win that fight because you're a lot smarter than how you were. And that is what we got in Erased. I know I went through a whole thing, but that's what we got in Erased. We got
that's fine.
Someone that is a certain age, and then was taken back
going
in
back
time.
to his younger self.
Even the way he was conversing with the people of his peers, he had to even try and be quite aware to say, okay, I need to be a child in this moment because this is what they expect. I understand.
And they mentioned it as well. And the way he was relating with females too, very different.
Very different.
Because he was so straightforward about many things. I'm going to compliment you. I'm going to compliment you. I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to hold your hand. Like, it wasn't even...
Do you understand? Imagine me with my brain in secondary school right now talking to girls. Oh, well, who are you? What do you even... I mean, you've not even had boobs yet. I'll just tell you like, yo, what are you talking about, mate?
Some people did.
No, I'm just... No, not that some people have don't. I'm just...
I get what you mean. No,
but I'm just trying to say like, they are young enough... They are young enough to be like... I mean, to be perverted at... So you're not going to be trying to be doing anything with them, but you're going to look at them you're going to be looking at them in the sense of you're still a child, so this is how I'll talk to you, like, and you're not going to be running around the bush in anything. You're just going to be like, hey, what's up, like, what's going on, things of that nature. But this Takemichi character going to him
was the exact same way.
His life did not
felt like his life was a failure.
His life did not pan out
Satoru too didn't exactly feel like his life was great, because he was working at a pizza place trying to also he was also trying to still figure things out. It's not like he was this hot shot either.
Definitely.
But you still had a different thing there.
And I'm trying to say, it's not like his life panned out well and all of those things, but he went back and it's almost like he was more of a child self going back. Like,
going back.
It's like he was even so many things, he just took it head on the way it's supposed to be, like a child, full of emotion, full of...
He didn't,
there was no maturity there to say, everything was just...
The younger guy, the younger brother was more mature than he was. The one that he has to shake hands with, which doesn't make any sense. I know that one became a police officer, but even before that, like, that guy was way more mature. And this kind of leads...
Go on, please.
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
Go on.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to say, this kind of leads into one of the Reddit things that we saw before we dive more into the shows, right? Because this person too is like wondering that why is Tokyo Revengers popular? And he's like, he or she, sorry. But I'll go with the generic he, I guess, or whatever. No. This person is this person. This person is like saying how
they'll tell you it's a generic
she has she has been seeing how people are like, this show is a masterpiece.
Let's just call the person Reddit.
You know. Okay, fine. Reddit has said they found out that people have been saying, "Oh, this show is so great, so great." And in the honest opinions of this Reddit person user, they're also comparing it to Erased, right? Everything basically we've said is mentioning it, you know. And then he's like, when it comes to someone like Takemichi, which we've mentioned, he gets a second chance as well to improve himself, to save his girlfriend. But no. And then this person is like, okay, so Takemichi goes back to a point where because that is a delinquent situation, as I mentioned before. So he goes back and he's bullied. They beat and you know, Tokyo Revengers, basically they're just constantly beating themselves up.
It's a lot.
For what reason? Who knows why? They're just beating themselves up.
So
and they're saying, yes, and the main guy is saying, oh, he's trying to build something. And I keep thinking, at least tell us what your end goal is. What is it you're trying to build? A community that you're trying to help your local guys? What? Some people have gangs, but they want to help the people in their area, you know. So what is that? What you want to do? They never mentioned such. All is that, oh, I'm trying to build something. What are you trying to build? All we see them do is fight, and keep threatening to kill each other. So he goes back and he's being bullied, and they're beating the crap out of him. And then, this Reddit user is like, you know, you can imagine how difficult this is. That why wouldn't you go back in time? When you go back in time, nobody said, okay, I'm going to go and complain to my parents or the police, or like, why are the parents, again, this alludes to us talking about how parents do not exist, because they don't exist here.
Yeah.
Why aren't any of the parents wondering, whoa, our kids are coming back home
bloodied and bruised.
Bloodied and bruised, yeah. Like, why they're coming back constantly and nobody's saying anything?
The parents
like,
don't care.
why are the parents not there?
They don't give any.
Yeah. Like, why wouldn't he think, okay, I'm changing my life, let me do better in school as well, so I can get a better job. I like this girl, let me improve on the relationship. Why don't I go to a different city as well? Like, where the gangs can't reach me and this girl or something? Change the actual trajectory of your life. You know, like, why isn't any of this thought of at all, considered? You know, instead what he goes there is to go straight to the bully and challenge him so that they can beat the crap out of him. And what's the lesson there? Oh, you never give up, just so that they will beat you, and that's the that's the message. Basically.
To even go back into it a little bit, because you had mentioned it and you touched on it a little, is that first of all, this guy, all of us know, if we had a chance to go back in time with the brain we have, there's some tweaks we can make. Unless you like the life you pretty are in, you will tweak some things, but you won't take all of it, because you want to still end up, maybe
some of those
you're
things,
dating somebody, you're married to somebody, whatever it is, or you have a kid, whatever it is. So you don't want to, because of maybe money or fame or something, that you might tweak too much. You will not get into all of that. But you will still make a few tweaks here and there to make your present condition slightly better. Even no matter what it is, even if the richest people in the world, Jeff Bezos and all of the world, they know that if you give them time to go back in the past, they will still tweak a few things to make them slightly richer than what they are right now, even though they've pretty much made it. There are some mistakes they've made that they'll try and tweak.
Yeah.
The Erased guy, yes, he went for a reason, and he was pretty much set on that reason. That reason is to save that girl. The difference between the Erased guy and this guy is that he's taking his time to understand, because he's basically the same plot line in a sense. He's taking his time to understand the reason why this girl is in this position that she is in. And then he was doing it alone, nobody else helping him in the future, no detective brother.
He was only using kind of style to seek advice from his mom, because he and his mom were close.
Exactly.
Right? Asking her some questions.
Exactly, but she did not even know.
And eventually he did. Yes, but eventually he did tell her.
Yeah, but she didn't at first know exactly what he was using those details to do. Now he was using that, and he was still stumbling into things, but everything led to another piece. So he led from here to another piece. Now Tokyo Revengers is going the same way. Like, yes, it's leading to another piece, but I hate how finite they make that piece is. And I think that is what pisses me off. Because when I'm saying finite, it's the sense that they make it seem like once you do this, she saved.
Do one thing, everything. Which
saved.
They didn't do in Erased. Because she still died a few times. Yeah,
and it was, his own was, it leads from here to the next. The leads where it was leading. From this one, it didn't seem like, oh, it's finite. Once you do this, she's saved. It's like, oh, once I went there, I discovered this that took me here. I discovered this that took me here. So it was a discovery. It was one from one discovery to another discovery to another discovery. So
and him observing as the changes were happening, kind of thing. Which
to me sounds like a storyline to follow, because now you're not having stop and start. It's like having heart attacks, and every time they bring you back to life. But Tokyo Revengers is like that, in the sense that it's a stop and start. They make it so finite. You come here, all you need to do is save this person, and that's the end.
And everything, you now go to the future. Oh, she's saved, but oh no,
she's not saved. You need to go and do it again. So they could have written. It wasn't so difficult. They could have written that story slightly better to, like, I'm not trying to say all those instances shouldn't have happened, but they shouldn't have made it so finite that every case is slightly different from the other case, like completely different. They should have said it's leading up to, you save this one, which leads you to go and discover why this happened, which leads you to go and discover why this happened, and then it's from a why to another why,
connected, rather than
you now get to the end where you save the girl.
Yes.
Now, outside of that, it's not like he's still not, because I've stopped watching it. You know this. I don't know if you still have.
I got further than you. Yeah.
You got further.
No, I've stopped. I've not watched it.
I've stopped watching it because they took. I did that a couple of times, so I can't take this anymore, because they got to a proper finite point, and I'm like.
Yes, and we thought, since they were doing that, we thought, okay, you want to let everything play out first, and we thought that's where it was going to end.
And then next thing
only for them to say no.
And then secondly, it's like you said, okay, it didn't end there. Then secondly, it's like, okay, after all of these things that you've done, there's a whole different plotline story happening at the other side that is linked but not linked, because there's this whole gang life and this whole gang affairs and this whole biker things that is so stupid that doesn't make sense, and we're going into another remembrance of another person, of another thing that is happening, and you're like,
exactly. And the question is
so random.
Why is she dying?
Why is she dying? I mean, do you know
they are not that close? I know they're supposed to be boyfriend girlfriend, but
they're not that close.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
One
more thing. Do you know the dumbest thing about the whole thing is that in Erased, that the killer was someone that assaults young girls. He goes after young girls.
He's a pedophile.
He's a pedophile and blah blah blah. He goes.
I don't know if it was a sexual thing, but
he goes after young girls. Yeah. Maybe not sexual. Secondly, the girl was pretty, so he looks for girls that are pretty removed and tries to go after them. Isolated.
Yes.
Now, the girl also had issues in her life.
And troubled.
That made her slightly isolated. So it was like, I had to discover why this girl is and make her not isolated. Let me make her happy. Let me make her into being friendly. And then I also
let me be friends with her, so people are around her.
Being friends with her, and at least so this guy doesn't target her, but then he now discovered more about this other person that existed and was doing this, because at first he thought it was her mother or her father or something like that, and then he now went into the mother's boyfriend.
Although there were issues there,
but there were issues there.
Those ones were abusing her.
Anyway, but he was discovering that and then discovering this. Now, the girl was inside the thick of things. Like, it was, everything was centered around her. For this Tokyo Revengers, it's about saving the girl, but we hardly see the girl. Like, the girl,
she's not involved at all.
She's not involved.
It actually makes no sense why
just like
she keeps dying.
It's a stray bullet that just killed her. then get her the hell out of that
Exactly.
place where there's a stray bullet.
That means
Like-
it should
like,
be easy
it
to
should
save
be
her.
easy to
She
save
doesn't.
her.
All you need to do is remove her from
Remove
that
her from the
situation.
equation.
Because it's a mistake that she keeps dying. Yeah,
every
because
time-
even at the one at the end, they were
It's
supposed to
another-
kill him, but she happened to be in the car.
It's
Oops,
always a mistake.
basically.
Always a mistake that she keeps dying. Always a mistake. So it's like, why?
Exactly.
I think it should not. I think she should have been.
In fact, it also means yes. In fact, if he had gone back to the past and decided not to even be her friend, her girlfriend. I'm sorry, decided not to be her boyfriend.
yeah.
Then again, there's no reason for them to speak or for them to ever spend time together. In which case, that solves the whole problem.
So
Because she's
the
not
whole-
related to anybody that is in a gang.
Yeah, I mean, her brother is going to become a police officer. His life is so different from
Exactly.
everything, and the only reason why he becomes a police officer was because
Exactly.
she died. So outside of that, she died.
That's
And
the only
and his
reason.
parent- I think
Thank
his dad
you.
or his parents are police officer or something like that. But outside of that reason and that reason alone, he's also so I think she's pretty removed from the situation. I think the issue here for me
Very
is
much.
that they could have just made it that it is a plot storyline about a guy going to his past to not save the girl, but to sort out
Yes.
this gang issue. They should have focused on
This gang issue.
Now,
Even if it was that guy with the tattoo on his head, Draken,
What-
that he died, let's sort out what happened.
even if it's not just he died,
Not
like,
to
let's-
save him specifically, but to
Yes.
solve the conflict.
Yes, so let's I think now the problem we have the finite nature of this show comes from saving the girl because every time they link it back to if the girl is saved, the show is over.
To the girl.
Let's put it like
Yes.
that. Now, if we remove the girl from the equation and then we now say the reason for this whole guy going to the past is to stop this gang from being in conflict and understand where the issue really lies from.
Really
Ev-
nice.
Every other thing makes sense. All of a sudden, you have a top show. Why do I say that? Because now we are not having removed situations. We're having that it links from here because he keeps finding out things about the gang happening.
And he
the
can
more
stay
goes
in the
back to-
past
Yes.
longer. He doesn't need
And-
to keep going back and forth.
And the
Oh,
no,
yeah,
even
is she
if he
alive?
goes-
Oh,
even
No,
if he went back
like
and forth, let's say
constantly.
he goes back to think, oh, he has solved the gang. No, he has understood what the issue with the gang, and he goes back,
Okay.
and then let's say we can use that as a link to keep making him go back to know that okay, there's a particular conflict that is going to happen at some time in the future. It has nothing to do with the girl.
Okay,
it's
to
just
know-
leading up to.
okay,
So it's
okay.
just to know that conflict is it maybe as I solve this one, did that happen? Did that happen? But it keeps on a brand which is about the gang. So it just keeps us focused on the gang. So we can keep now finding out more things about the gang. Whether we go into Draken's story, we go into the other guy's story, the guy that is above Draken, the number one story.
Mikey.
Mikey, yeah, we go into Mikey's story, we go into whatever story or plot line we go into. It's still gang
Yes.
centered, it's still gang focused.
Yes.
Everything. You can follow that story. You can be involved.
And
in that.
personally, for me, sorry, and for me personally, please, it would have been great if they just give them some sort of sense as to why they are doing what they're
Slightly,
doing. Because
slightly.
otherwise, it is stupid, pointless.
Slightly.
Even if it's just, I want to be the head. I want my gang to be top so I can protect those around me. They love to do that, right? Including my
mean-
family, my
I mean-
friends.
Bruh.
I can protect them and provide for them. That is even better. But right now, it's just like it's just pointless, and that bothers me so much. It's so pointless. I'm like, y'all are doing all this nonsense for no reason. And this boy Takemichi is also the one that thinks the least out of everybody
He's
because
the
he will always
dumbest of
rush
them
into
all.
something,
He's the
and that's
dumbest
his
of- and-
idea of I'm becoming more brave by rushing headfirst into a fight.
You know
They will now
what?
punch his lights out. They will now say, Takemichi is the one who, he was so brave. He showed us that we should do this. Takemichi stand behind his face will now be swollen. They will now start a fight. And his bravery was the fact that he ran
Do you
into
know
the
what?
fight
Do you know
without
what?
thinking.
Do you know what? Do you
People
know
that
what?
can beat the crap out of you, you just
This-
run straight. You won't think.
This show has something we hate. It has Nakama power. And it's a dumb type of Nakama power. It's not even the one that it actually makes you
Because-
even have a Nakama Yeah, an actual power that makes sense. Is it
Like feelings.
dumb? It's really, really dumb. Like, and it does not make any sense
Yeah.
at all. I mean,
Yes.
to be honest, we can keep ranting about the show,
Yes.
but I think where I want to
We
stop
really
at is
can.
that whoever said Tokyo Revengers is better than Attack on Titan, you need to get your head checked. That's all I can say.
For real, man.
You need to get
And
your
well,
head checked.
you know what? Let me do devil's advocate. They didn't say better. They just said sales. So for some reason, people are
You know what?
curious
Maybe
about
it's
Tokyo
you know what?
Revengers,
It's
so they went to
clickbait.
check.
It's clickbait. That's literally what they did because they did it to
Yes.
us as well. We all were
They
all
did it to us.
baited.
We saw
We
it.
all were- well,
Yeah, the premise.
we came when we started watching. We're like, I mean, and then we already disliked the main character, but we're pretty much able to say we
Yeah,
can watch
yeah,
the
yeah.
other parts of it.
They made him
because
too
it
much
seemed-
of it.
They, no, as they made it too much of it,
Yes.
we're able to attach to some of the biker people and say, oh, maybe these
Yeah.
guys will make us. But then
Maybe.
it started getting so stupid.
And the
then-
fact that they were
then-
just beating and fighting, we
And
thought,
then-
okay, they are not shying away from the violence, but then the violence became pointless.
And everybody, like, I'm so scared of Mikey. Mikey just appears. One kick. And then,
It just- I mean, the Mikey is cool because yeah, he can fight. But again,
Mikey and Draken definitely cool, but the whole show
very
is-
cool, very
whole
cool. I won't
show
lie,
is
but
rubbish.
they needed some substance.
They don't have you got
substance.
that
People.
word is the word. They needed substance. And with a few
Yes.
points of mine, I hope I was able to convince you and not confuse you.
Yes, that Tokyo Revengers needs some
Should be
serious
erased.
help and should just end. Should be erased. Yes, erased by erased. Erased is a much better show, guys. Much
Please go and
miles
watch it
better.
if you've not
Miles
watched it.
better.
If you're not, I mean, let's
Yes.
take that back. Let's just run it back. Seriously, let's run it back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though we spoiled some stuff, trust me, you can still watch Erased and enjoy the
We
ride,
did not
the
even
way the
give you
whole
that
thing
much.
goes.
We did not give you that much, and
We didn't.
This is
We didn't give you that much.
And this is-
We didn't
and-
tell you the creme de la creme of what happens
Yeah.
in Erased. So yeah, you can still watch
so
it.
please say please. Can you mention? I want to do something. Can you mention the news
Yes.
that they said? What's the news from the news we said? What's the news about this Tokyo Revengers versus Attack on Titan? Say it.
Oh.
Just say it. Just say it.
That the Tokyo Revengers has overtaken AOT in sales.
You are fake news.
That's it.
Nicely done. Nicely
And
done.
with
Nicely
that-
done. Yeah, yeah.
We've come to the end of. No, wait, not actually. We still have riders. You see,
Not
what
the
this-
end
you
yet,
see,
but
you see
you
what
know,
these two,
the end.
this splitting this thing. It does mean one kind, but anyways, let's go into the riders.
Yeah, but well, we I get what you meant though. I mean,
Yeah.
we've erased the Revengers.
Yeah, and
Hopefully.
we ended with it's fake news. So let's move on. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So our writers, guys, we decided to have go with TV shows this
Mm-hmm.
week, not anime, not a movie. You know. So for
yeah. I'll
What's
start with
yours?
one, and I mentioned you literally used the word to describe what we talked about, and the name of this TV
Indeed.
show. The name of this TV show is called Clickbait. It's a limited series on Netflix. It just came out, so it's actually pretty fresh. Binge it in 2 days because of work, obviously, but it was a good watch.
Good.
You can't predict where
Okay.
it takes you to, so it's we always love unpredictable shows, like shows that you think you know what is happening, but they keep introducing plot line and they do it so
Curveballs.
well. They throw those curveballs and they do it so well that it is not out of whack. And
they don't
every
Tokyo
time-
Revengers it, you know.
they don't Tokyo Revengers it, and every time they throw in that curveball, trust me, this name Clickbait remain in your head throughout the show because of the curveballs. So the curveball, you think, as I'm saying it, you might think, okay, I'll understand, but you won't understand. And Jola, I'm also putting it to you to watch it and then come back and let me
Yeah.
know how you felt about it. But yeah, Clickbait is my rider.
Is your writer, and it's on Netflix. I mean,
It's on
at this
Netflix.
point,
Easy
we
watch,
pretty
easy
much
watch.
all have Netflix. So yeah, easy watch, exactly. Okay, for me, mine is an oldie but a goodie. And when I say oldie, I don't mean like old like that, but it's not a current or in the last 5 years. Is it? show. Anyway, whatever. Mine is Jane the Virgin. On a lighter note, I have always loved this show, and I will always love this show. It's one of my favorite shows. Always puts me in a good mood to laugh. It's a dramedy, basically. You know, it has some drama and it has comedy, and it's a whole show about taking the piss out of the fact that they're acting like a telenovela, like all these your typical soap opera. They are taking the piss out of themselves. So you're not supposed to go there and watch it and think this is ridiculous, because that's the point. They're making all the ridiculous things you expect from those things. That's what they're doing, and just laughing at themselves and doing it in a nice, wholesome, funny way. So yeah, Jane the Virgin, awesome show, man. You guys should check it out if you haven't.
Check it out.
Those are writers, and we had a lot of fun talking about Revenge as Erased, guys.
Yeah, it literally.
We could have gone on forever, trust me.
Gone on forever.
Yeah, we had to put a cap on it.
Yeah, definitely had to put a cap on it. But we got with that, guys. Thank you, producer.
Sing us out or play us out. Alright, guys, subscribe, listen, tell your friends. You know, we are shorter and sweeter now, so it's easier to consume us. So
and easier to digest. So yeah, digest all of us.
That sounds wrong.
Yeah.
I started it, but
bye, guys.
Sorry. Bye, guys.